Let's go, family. Let's get it. Happy Tuesday. You already know it's gonna be a good one today. Let's go. We're gonna start in a few minutes. Run slowly in the dark light. Run slowly in the dark. All right. So let's dive into this. Let's get it. You already know what time it is. It's your boy, Crazy Victor God in the building, getting ready to drop some quick value for you guys today. Today's topic is gonna be really powerful. I was actually thinking about it. I was like, damn, should I do it? Should I not do it? But this is the only way to grow, right? The today's topic is gonna be actually my story, right? It's actually gonna be my story. And yeah, it's time to, grow. It's time to get uncomfortable and share my story. And yeah, so let's dive into it. So, you know, um, as a young kid growing up in New York City, that's where I was originally born and everything. And that's where I was born. I was raised in Brooklyn, born in Brooklyn, raised in Harlem, and throughout my life, everything was going good until I was like 10 years old and everything. When I turned 10 years old, things like my whole life dramatically changed. Right? It felt like my life got like broken, ripped to piece, right? So my mom died when I was 10, right? I remember like me just coming home and like looking at everybody's crying, everybody's just in a crazy mood, and I'm just like, what's going on? I'm 10 years old. I'm not really trying to figure. I don't really know what's going on. My sister's with me. She's a little bit younger. She's like 5 years younger than me, and we're just lost, right? I thought it was just something happened that something minor, and it comes to find out my mom, died, and apparently my father actually killed my mom's, right? So these are things that I had to like grow and go through, right? In the midst of all of that, I'm just like 10 years old, encountering this and just trying to find ways to cope with it and actually grow through it. And it was really extremely tough, being in New York City, understanding what just happened and actually growing through that was really big. But things happen and we can't let anything deteriorate us, right? We can just let everything fuel us, right? I'm not no victim, right? I will get a reward for my pain, right? I will get a reward for my pain, right? So at the end of the day, I let all of this stuff fuel me, right? All right, cool, bet. It happened, cool. I can't do nothing about it, bet. I'm gonna take that energy and I'm gonna let that fuel me towards what I need to, towards my dreams and goals and what God has for me, right? And I encourage you guys to do the same too. Any problems that you're going through, take that and use it as fuel to push you forward to get a reward for your pain. Anything that you're going through in life, right? You can use that energy reward for your pain, right? So as I'm just growing up, understanding life, getting through life, healing, and everything, I started to come through addictions. I had to, overcome lust addictions and just like get through it. I was looking for a way to escape when I was in my teenagers and my 20s. So I was, escaping, trying to escape, trying to find a way to escape, through unhealthy addictions. And my life was not going in the right direction. So I had to like stop, pause, turn to God, and He actually got me right back on course and where I needed to be. Right, gave me a dream and a goal. And when I was about what 25, tw- my 28, I was in a job. Right, I was in this job, working in New York City as a door to door salesman right there on Wall Street, right? And then it was just time to like move. So I remember I went on a business trip, right? I went on a business trip to Miami, right? Through my job from New York to Miami, and I'm like, this feels amazing out here. I love it out here. Something is calling me. I felt like it was a calling on my life. Like something was just speaking to me out here as me being in Miami. It just felt like something was speaking to me, like, yo, like this is it. Something is out here. So I go back to New York, and things are not working out. I'm getting kicked out of my house, right? I don't have a spot to go. I finally found a spot, right? I finally found a spot, and when I went to go check out that place, right? I guess the people sold it right underneath me, right? I was gonna go see the place, and then I guess somebody came before me, and then they got it. Cool, it was kind of like, what's going on, right? Cool, 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 all good. So I looked at other places. It was just not working out, and then I just had to talk to God, like, you know what? Should I go to Miami, God? Like, is this? Are you trying to tell me something to go out there, like? So I kept talking, like I had to reminisce with him, like, meditate on it, right? Talking to him, like, you know what, is this the right move? And then, like, at the last minute, at the last couple hours of me just like I keep asking and asking, and like I finally got the confirmation, like, yo, it's game time, like you got, but I didn't know it took my faith. I had to leave with faith to go to Miami. I didn't know how anything was gonna happen. I didn't know like what was gonna happen. I don't know how I was gonna, get a job. I don't know how I was gonna have money. I didn't know. All I just knew is that I had someone out there that was in my business, and that was in Miami. He was from New York too, as well. Shout out to Diego. He was from New York too, as well. And I was actually able to go out there with him in Miami, and it was an amazing um, encounter. Right? It felt like a vacation. It felt like a new life, right? And I didn't know. I didn't know how things was gonna work, right? I didn't know. I didn't know at all. So me being in Miami, and allowing God to, do the transition, I was able to build trust. I was able to build faith with him through the process, right? Being from New York, coming to Miami, and actually getting a job, him sustaining me through the whole time I was out here, right? And then after that, I went to a church. Like I went to a church. Like I guess my friend, he was like, yeah, I'm getting ready to move, and I'm gonna have to, go on my own. Right, I'm gonna have to like really figure this out on my own. So like I'm like out here, Florida, right, Miami, by myself, trying to figure things out. I finally, I had to leave his spot, so I finally found a church, and they was letting me stay there, right, in a room. It's like an office church, like it's like they do office work, and then you have church where you can worship God and everything. So I stood in the church, right? I stood in the church for a couple months. I had a little job serving, and my rent was like $400 for a room, little office space, right? I had a Planet Fitness. Went to the Planet Fitness to work out, showers, whatever. And this is what I was doing, building my faith, trusting him. And then eventually he kept moving me from that to a room for rent. And now I'm able to have my own apartment with a roommate now. You see? You see how the faith comes a long way. You see how the faith comes a long way. Like this is powerful. Without God, I would have never been out here. Without God and the faith and the belief and the trust, I would have never been out here. Right? And yes, it was hard. Yes, I was like, kind of like, yo, what's going on? What's gonna happen? But I had to strengthen my faith, right? He put you in situations where you have to have no choice but to rely on him, and it feels like the end of the world sometimes. It can, right? Depending where you're at in your faith. I was early in my faith, so I was a little, like back and forth between faith and doubt, and like anxiety a little bit, but I got through it. I got through it, and you guys can get through it too, right? You guys can get through it too, right? And it's just to go to show, like, he brought me a long way, and without him, I couldn't have done this. Like, I couldn't have done it like any other way, right? But he gets all the glory, right? And now I'm in Florida. I have my own apartment with a roommate. I'm grateful. I'm super grateful for this. I'm super grateful not to, have to be in New York. Yes, Florida, Miami is amazing. I love it out there, and I love everything that God is doing. But I say this to show you guys how powerful God is, and how powerful your faith is once you strengthen it, and you could be able to see what God is doing. Now I'm able to be in Florida, Miami, right, Hollywood. I have my gift. I'm working on my gift, right? Heading towards the promised land, right? Taking time to perfect me and move forward, right? These are the things that I'm doing on a consistent basis, right? These are the things that I'm doing on a consistent basis, right? These are the things that you need to do. You got to strengthen your faith. You have to trust God in everything that you're doing. Even when you don't understand, you have to trust God. Because when you don't trust, you miss out on what he's doing, right? Say if he's trying to, transform you into the person that he needs you to be, but you keep running away, how are you gonna be that person that he's creating you to be? Stop running, right? We gotta stop running, right? I'm gonna leave you guys with this, right? So this is my why. What's your why, right? Are you gonna let your why fuel you for your reward for your pain, or are you just gonna let your why defeat you, right? Are you gonna let your why fuel you and you get a reward for your why, or whatever happened to you, are you gonna let that defeat you and determine the rest of your life, right? We're gonna fall, we're gonna get back up, we're gonna go through things in life, right? Number one, suicide is not the way, right? Suicide is not the way. Mental health is everything. Your clarity, your mental health is everything, right? To push through those problems. The problems is not going anywhere. But at the end of the day, we have God to get through those problems. Without God, we can't get through nothing. Without God, I couldn't get through anything. Without God, I wouldn't be standing here right now, right? Without God, I wouldn't be standing on my own with Him. I wouldn't have made it this far without Him. He saved me so many times from death, from a lot of and multiple times, right? And it's all trust and faith in Him. He wants to show you how powerful He is, and that you can trust Him, right? So that's my story. I hope you guys took immense value. I hope this impacted you. I hope you could learn from this and transform your life too as well, and take it as a learning lesson for whatever you're going through in life. You have God, and you can trust Him that He will get you through anything and everything with faith and belief. And with that being said, it's your boy Crazy Pip that got on the way out. Let's grow. Happy Tuesday once again. Happy blessed Tuesday. Nothing but love. I pray that God will show you enlightenment, transform your minds, transform your life, transform your mindsets into the person that He needs you to be, and to ultimately let Him reveal Himself and how powerful He is in your life, and to also transform you into the person that He needs you to be. Let's grow 1% better. Let's get it.